জিজ্ঞেস করে দেখো সুন্দর আছে। ভালো কিছু
Good afternoon, everyone. I think it's 3:30. I'll just wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll start off as soon as we get clearance from Spurti. We'll start off, and thanks very much, everyone, for joining and also being on time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, a warm welcome to you, Professor Shamanna. I think it's really a pleasure always interacting with you and learning from you. You have been a part of us for various sessions of Ipc Master Class, and it has always been, so very informative and so wonderful to learn from you. Okay. So since we are right at 3:30, as sir said, so I'll just go on to introduce our session chair for the panel discussion, Professor B.R. Shamanna from School of Medical Sciences, University of Hyderabad. So I'll just help everyone with a small introduction of Professor Shamanna. So Professor Shamanna is completed his medical education from Karnataka Medical College in Hubli and his doctoral studies MD in community medicine from AIIMS New Delhi. And he also holds a double diploma in from National Board in Maternal and Child Health, as well as in social and preventive medicine. So he's a very learned person who has a number of certificates and a number of academic achievements, I would say. So he has also been the Senior Research Officer for International Council for Control of Iodine Deficiency and Disorders. He has been a part of the WHO, PAM, UNICEF. He has been the judge for the Asia-Africa round of global social venture competition at Indian School of Business for Hyderabad for the last 10 years. And most recently, he has done a fellowship and designated as a public health leader through National Institute of Health, supported by Public Health Leadership Academy of Implementation Sciences at Emory University, Georgia, USA. And he's also the National Resource Person for Food, Nutrition, Health, Water and Sanitation Hygiene for National Rural Livelihoods Mission and the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Government for Government of India. He is an avid traveler and he is also a co-investigator for Government of India. So I think it will take a really long time, to describe him if I have to describe him in full. So just in short, I think everyone has got a understanding of how learned Professor Shamanna is. And we are really very, it's a pleasure to have him on board with us for this session for the panel discussion. So a warm welcome once again to you, Professor Shamanna. And I think with this, I hand over to you. So it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Laliji, and good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It's a pleasure to have been, looking at all the sessions which have been, sort of delivered so far. And foremost, I think I need to thank SANMED, and I also need to thank Infection Control Academy of India, and especially my colleague and very good friend and Dr. Rangareddy, and all the people who are associated with this initiative. Just to give you a brief background, I think 3 years ago, we started these sessions which coincided with the outbreak of the COVID pandemic, and we've been having successive master classes. And it's been a sort of, if I can call it, a shot in the arm for a lot of people who are doing our diploma program in infection prevention and control, which is a collaborative distance learning program between us at the School of Medical Sciences, University of Hyderabad, where I teach, as well as the Infection Control Academy of India, and all of your support by either partaking in this particular program or delivering extremely superlative sessions which are very contextual in nature. So I just want to place it on record to all who have been associated with this. And if you can notice, this time we've just had a very, good a couple of at least 4 master classes, very well moderated by both Professor Rangareddy and Dr. Sukanya. Thank you very much, sir and madam, and thanks very much, Dr. Pandya. Thanks, Jaya Banerjee madam. Thanks very much,
Thank you, sir.
Shoaib sir, and also Fatima madam, for being able to deliver wonderfully the sessions in terms of taking the participants through the prioritizing evidence-based IPC practices or measures for improving quality of care. Before I allow each of the faculty here to make their opening remarks and then open the floor for questions, as well as ask Dr. Sukanya to pitch in, I would probably, just place a flag a few things, and I think it's very, very important in terms of looking at the interconnectedness between IPC practices and quality of care, and our efforts towards IPC, antimicrobial resistance, as well as WASH, water, sanitation, hygiene, and the whole concept of One Health. And this, especially, I was very, very fascinated by this prioritizing evidence-based IPC measures, because without research, there's no evidence. And without evidence, you can't build strong health systems. And the reason I want to sort of give you a sort of brief about health systems is the fact that without batting an eyelid, I would say we got exposed very badly during the pandemic with respect to the resilient health systems, and building resilient health systems, especially in relation to IPC practices, is very, very critical, whether it is functional, whether it is structural, whether it is organizational. And I think going into the future, each one of us here have to look at this health system resilience, and especially in terms of our infection prevention control practices. Also, since we belong to different contexts, and since we come from different sort of, I should say, facilities, as well as organizations, institutions, I think the barriers and facilitators are going to be very, very different in our respective environments. And we have to be up to the contextual challenges, and we have to be aware of the fact that there's rising consumerism, there's rising pressure with respect to reporting modalities, with report to legal, time management, everything. And how do we make sure that we try and bring all this together in terms of our practices? So with that, let's begin the session, and let's Madam Sukanya, I would request you to make your opening remarks in terms of your moderation of the 4 sessions or 3 sessions, and then we will let it open to the concerned faculty, please.
Thank you so much, Professor Shamana. It's always a pleasure listening to you. With the vast amount of experience which Sir has, it's so beautiful to just listen to him speaking, like his, the comprehensiveness of the entire subject. And I feel that the entire concept of this masterclass, in fact, is a wonderful idea, as Sir had already mentioned. And I think this, whatever masterclass session 5, what we have, I think I've had the pleasure of getting introduced to many people across the nation, and it's a real pleasure to interact with people across from different backgrounds, as Sir has said. And I think I moderated Dr. Jaya and Dr. Fatima's sessions, which were very good, very commendable, excellent, and very comprehensive. They stuck to their time, which is very important, and also, covered most of the important concepts. We had a very good interactive session and very good discussions. There were a lot of queries and questions, which I felt very happy, because it actually, ensured that the participants actually understood and, interacted with the speakers. So I think that's a way forward, and I think that's how the, the tempo of the masterclass should be in future also. It should be sustained in that particular manner. So thank you again, Professor Shamana, for that wonderful introduction. Any other specific things? I don't know. I mean, the floor is open for questions from the participants to moderators, or even basically to the faculty. So any queries which were not answered or which you could not really clarify in these sessions, please feel free to ask. We are all there to interact and to enrich our knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, and thanks very much for your constant sort of support as well as motivation in terms of keeping this going. We're very grateful to you for having been a very strong support in our endeavor, and you are part of us. So I will take that liberty to say that. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Pandya, I will request you in the next 5 minutes to sort of encapsulate your presentation in terms of the salient points which emerged from your work, and especially in relation to the evidence-based practices which you talked about, and also the prior